Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and today's video, this is going to be a commentary talking about why I love zombies. This is my last Halloween themed video for 2017. I know it's the day after Halloween, but on Halloween I really just didn't feel up to recording exactly because I've been sick the last few days. It's just that time of the year for me. I know I get sick a lot during this time of the year, so I'm sorry, but I rather would push out content that I know is good in my opinion than instead of just pushing out content just to say I pushed it out. So I hope you guys can respect that. And anyways, let's begin with the commentary talking about why I love zombies. In general, as a whole, I've just in general loved the horror genre. I like zombies to a certain extent. I also like all sorts of monsters like werewolves, vampires, stuff like that. It just always interested and fascinated me. But the zombies out of all these creatures is my most interesting, like paranormal thing to talk about, is because it just seems the most realistic out of all these to come true if it were, because zombies are basically us. They are a undead version of humans who exact, eating out, people's brains and eating flesh. So that's basically the summary of it. I mean, we all know what a zombie is, so. But why would I like the realism? Well, even though these are stories that are obviously meant to, just scare the crap out of people for Halloween, and they're not meant to be real, obviously, they're still just interesting to have for just stories, even if they're not horror-based. Like, for example, The Walking Dead. I love that show, and it hasn't been about zombies directly ever since, like, the third season. It's about the people that are affected by the zombies and make them evil, and then you have to avoid other people, and the zombies are kind of just like a nuisance in the background. But the zombies are the reason that started all in the first place, and you still have to look out for them. You can still get bit, you can still get infected, you could still become a zombie at some point. You're not immune. Just because people get better at protecting themselves, it doesn't mean that they are immune. So the zombie genre has just always been a cool genre because it makes good stories, it makes good character development, in my opinion. I think it makes some of the best character development because it makes people have to trust each other, it makes people have to work together, and if you don't have that, you're royally screwed. So I think that overall zombies is good in TV shows, video games. It's good just to even be a zombie. If you want to scare the crap out of somebody, go around dressed as a zombie and go screaming at them and just chasing them. It's some of the funniest things that you can do, and I just love Halloween for that reason, because Halloween, it's not only about all these creatures, but it's also about zombies. Zombies has a huge role in Halloween, which is something really cool. If I had to say what I prefer, like zombies in media, like what I prefer in video games, what I prefer in TV shows, movies, I would say I would prefer zombies out of everything in the video games, just because the video games you can kind of bend them to your will, and you can also make changes if you want to. Because kind of when it comes to a show and a movie, you have to follow a certain amount of guidelines for it to be, I guess you could say, good. But when you're playing a video game, it's not necessarily always about realism, because I rather would get more realism out of a show or a movie than a video game. So in a video game, I'm less likely to get irritated if it's not as realistic, if you know what I'm saying. So when it comes to video games, I like Left 4 Dead, I like normal Call of Duty zombies. I like even like third-party things. Like I really want to eventually try these third-party game modes, like PUBG zombies. That looks pretty cool. Just stuff like that. Zombies in general as a whole. The survival-specific zombies are also my favorite. I love survival modes. Like, for example, Left 4 Dead survival mode, where it's endless until they just non-stop flood you to the point where you die. Or Junkenstein's endless in Overwatch currently. That's a zombie-based mode they call the Omnic Zomnics. And they're literally endless unless you can get somewhat lucky or you have really great settings that accommodate for you in private match. But I really love the endlessly, hordes of zombies just chasing you in these game modes. And also these third game modes, like these not necessarily survival and not necessarily endless modes, but these third modes that a lot of people make, is that they make these, how should I say it, they're non-storyline, but they're actually chunks from the campaigns of these stories from the zombies games, and they actually will make them as like side quests that you can play over and over again and make that into a survival mode. Kind of like Left 4 Dead, how they had Scavenger and they had Versus and they had all those other game modes, especially Tank, the Tank mode. That was my favorite Left 4 Dead mode in history. I love Tank mode because there's nothing but pure chaos, and you just have to solely survive based off of your complete and utter skill. Sure, there may be randomness with the drops and the health kits and whatever, but a good Left 4 Dead player, like, I would like to say that I am, because I have every achievement besides 4 in Left 4 Dead 2, and every achievement besides, like, 14 in Left 4 Dead 1. But yeah, the survival modes, especially tank mode, where you literally just have to rely on like how much you can juke and how much you can just luckily like sneak by tanks, because in tank mode it's all about running and juking, because there's no way you're gonna take out 4 tanks by yourself in a room like in a corner. There's no way that's not gonna happen. That's no way it's gonna happen. So but yeah, zombies overall, I love them. They're really cool. They are not necessarily the most dangerous when you think about it nowadays, because there's so many zombie shows and so many zombie movies and video games that if an actual apocalypse happened, I hope that we would all have a decent knowledge to know how to take them out, because some zombies you, for the most part, take out the brain. Some you just flat out kill them. Some you can just like, I mean, I've seen goofy shows where like you can actually revive people and bring them back to life, but that's not exactly the way I see zombies. The way I see zombies is that I go with the most logical one that people use, and that's just they have to be terminated by killing the brain. I just go with the Walking Dead logic. That's my favorite things of zombies. I don't necessarily like it when they run in TV shows. I don't like it when they can climb things or like talk or crap like that. My favorite zombies to watch is to make it where they don't run, they just walk, or they kind of like slightly jog. Like, because here's the thing is that there's a difference between like a shuffle and a full-out sprint. If they walk and they shuffle, that's fine. I don't want them talking. I don't want them being able to climb and open doors. That makes no sense. And if they have to be killed by terminating the brain, that makes no sense. I don't want them to have to be killed because they got defibrillated. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. I mean, a normal human, yeah. Zombie, no. But video game logic, though, I don't mind if they necessarily run. I don't mind if they're necessarily more strong or mutated, because obviously it's a video game. Otherwise, I wouldn't like Left 4 Dead or whatever and be referencing it a lot. But as long as they're not ridiculously OPs when the video games come into play, and as long as they're fun, as long as you have a whole bunch of fun game modes where it's equally fun for both sides, depending on like whether you can play as the zombies or not. But anyways, guys, this is my last second Halloween video for the year. I hope you guys did enjoy this. Let me know what you think about zombies and whether or not that you like them as your favorite like paranormal like creature or whatever. But anyways, guys, I will see you all in the next video, and I hope you guys had a wonderful Halloween.